In less than 24 hours, Israel has eliminated 3 of Iran's most senior officials, 3 targeted strikes, 3 confirmed kills, and a regime now scrambling to figure out who is still alive to give orders. I've been tracking this situation closely, and what's unfolding right now is unlike anything we've seen in this conflict so far. Let me walk you through exactly what happened and why it matters. The first strike took out Ali Larijani, Iran's Supreme National Security Council secretary and the regime's effective leader. Then came Gholam Reza Soleimani, commander of the Basij Volunteer Militia Force, and just hours ago, confirmation that Esmail Khatib, Iran's intelligence minister, was killed in an overnight strike. Israel's defense minister was blunt about it. He said significant surprises are expected throughout this day on all fronts. Now, what caught my attention is the pattern here. These weren't random military targets. This was a deliberate shift in strategy. In the first days of this war, Israel and the United States focused on military infrastructure, naval sites, missile launchers. United States Central Command released footage showing precision strikes on Iranian launch positions across the country, degrading their offensive capability. Missile batteries, radar installations, and weapons depots were systematically dismantled in what the Pentagon has called Operation Epic Fury. But now the targeting has moved inward. Israel is going after the people who keep the regime in power domestically. The enforcers, the intelligence apparatus, the crackdown coordinators. Think about what that means. Soleimani's entire job was internal security, coordinating crackdowns against protesters. Khatib ran cyber espionage networks and oversaw what the United States Treasury called serious human rights abuses. These are the men who orchestrated the killing of roughly 40,000 unarmed protesters back in January, and now they're gone. It's almost as if Israel is trying to level the playing field between the Iranian people and the regime that has been crushing them. And here's where it gets complicated. Iran is a country of 90 million people, and the gap between the rulers and the ruled is staggering. People I've followed who have contacts inside Iran describe a population that views their own government as an occupying force. That level of resentment doesn't just disappear because missiles are flying. Yes, you'll see footage of thousands at funerals for these officials, waving flags, chanting death to America. But from what analysts have confirmed, most of those crowds are Basij militia members bussed in from other provinces. The regime knows it doesn't have a genuine support base in Tehran, so it manufactures one for the cameras. Meanwhile, Iran has imposed its longest internet blackout since the war began on February 28th. But something interesting is happening. Unlike the total blackout in January, information is still getting out. Videos, images, reports from inside the country are leaking through. Some analysts believe Starlink devices and VPNs have been distributed inside Iran. Others point out that coalition strikes have actually hit the buildings responsible for censorship and digital surveillance. So the regime's ability to repress, both physically and digitally, is being degraded simultaneously. But Iran is not taking this quietly. The regime has been retaliating with everything it has left, launching missiles and drones at Israeli cities. Their weapon of choice recently has been cluster munitions, warheads that open midair and rain down dozens of bomblets that slip past air defense systems. These strikes have hit residential neighborhoods near Tel Aviv, injuring several people and killing a couple in their 70s. Civilians paying the price for decisions made in bunkers. And then came the escalation nobody saw coming. Israel struck Iran's South Pars natural gas field, part of the world's largest gas resource and a lifeline for Iran's economy. According to President Trump's own statement, the United States had no knowledge of this particular attack. Trump posted on Truth Social that Israel, out of anger, lashed out at the facility, and he warned Iran directly, because Iran retaliated by attacking Qatar's main gas facility and launching drones at Saudi Arabia's energy infrastructure. 5 drones headed towards Saudi energy sites were intercepted, along with 4 ballistic missiles aimed at Riyadh. Qatar condemned the strikes as a direct threat to both global energy security and its national sovereignty. Trump's warning was extraordinary. He said if Qatar's facilities are attacked again, the United States will, with or without Israel, massively destroy the entirety of South Pars. The implications for global energy markets are severe. This region supplies a significant portion of the world's oil and natural gas. The Strait of Hormuz, through which roughly a fifth of the world's energy flows, sits right in the middle of all of this. Shipping has already slowed dramatically. Commercial vessels are stranded, insurance rates have skyrocketed, and some tankers are simply refusing to enter the Gulf. Every day this conflict continues, the economic damage compounds. Now the question everyone is asking, can anyone actually negotiate an end to this? From what I can piece together, the honest answer is that Tehran hasn't even had a moment to sit down and figure out what it would want from negotiations. The foreign minister is technically still alive, but he has no authority to speak for the regime without instructions from above. And right now, nobody is sure who above even is. The regime was built on parallel institutions specifically to survive decapitation, but that doesn't mean it can function coherently without its senior leadership. To the Islamic Republic, any concession signals weakness, and the more fragile they become, the less likely they are to show any sign of compromise. So, what comes next? Based on everything I've gathered, this war is about to enter its most sensitive phase since it began. Israel appears to be shifting from degrading military capability to something far more ambitious, undermining the regime's ability to control its own population. Reports suggest Israeli intelligence is even directly threatening mid-level commanders, telling them to join the opposition movement or face elimination. The question isn't whether more Iranian officials will be targeted. That seems certain. The question is whether the Iranian people, watching their oppressors fall one by one, will finally see an opening. A Department of Defense press conference is expected with updates on Operation Epic Fury, and more strikes are anticipated across all fronts. 3 top officials dead in under 24 hours. A regime with no clear leader. A population that has been waiting for exactly this moment. Whatever happens next will reshape this region for decades.